My name is Daniel. I'm the nonprofit director of Real Art Tacoma, Tacoma and Pierce County's only all-ages nonprofit venue, and this is Grit City Punk.
Jiggle Down Productions.
All right, here we go. Grit City Punk, episode 22, part 2. Welcome back. Here, as promised, is my interview with Dan from Real Art. We cover a lot of ground here, talking about the history of Real Art Tacoma, talking about the history of his involvement in the PNW music scene. Of course, we go on a lot of tangents. I mean, that's what this show is about, right? And a super huge announcement you're not going to want to miss, so be sure to listen to the whole thing. Who are you, and what do you do?
My name is Daniel. I'm currently the nonprofit director of Real Art Tacoma, Tacoma and Pierce County's only all-ages nonprofit venue. I am also the booking agent of Ghost Rider Booking, which was created to book more local bands. I used to do every job at Real Art, so the hats change as stuff comes up.
So why do you do it? What's your motivation for it?
I've always been into music. Originally, I just liked being around music like anybody does. But what started me into the love of all ages music was actually when I was 15 in 2000 something. Don't give away my age too far. And there was a local church in my suburban town of Marysville, Washington, that hosted shows all summer for $5. And some of my best memories are at that place. We saw bands after bands. 5 of my friends that I still talk to, we all met there. They all had bands. It was just a place to kind of be at. It was $5. We didn't ask who was playing. We just asked, okay, who's got the extra $5 to give the other kid into the show, because we're not going to a show without him. So we'd all just throw our money into it. It was very influential on my life to really have that space where it was like, yeah, there was minimal supervision, and we were just there. Like, it wasn't like the mall where my mom's at Sears, and like if something goes wrong, I'm still like under my mom's, watchful eye. No, I was there by myself. My mom dropped me off at 6, picked us up at 9:30, like there was no in between that. And it really influenced me in the all ages scene, because I feel like it's important for youth to have that place that's not that they can just be who they want to be. So that was, again, what inspired me to get into all ages. When I came to Real Art Tacoma, I was one of my friends' bands. Like I said, I have a lot of friends that are in bands, was playing, and I was like, oh, I'll just come hang out with them. And I lived in Tacoma at the time, and so I just went and hung out, and then I ran into Tom, the venue owner and everything man. And I said, hey, can I just come sit in the back of the venue, just hang out with musicians? All my friends are musicians. It's not like they're any different. And he said, oh, yeah, that's fine. Cool. And I was working at the time for a company that allowed you to volunteer your time, and then you get $15 per hour to send back to whatever nonprofit you wanted. So I was like, great, I'll just go hang out and just like chat with people, not be lonely in my house. And then, and so I just started doing that. Just started hanging out in the back, just chatting with people. And then I would send money back to the venue, after the month. And at a meeting, I asked Tom, I said, hey, do we have any grants or any like nonprofit parts that we're like bringing in? And Tom just said, no, why would we do that? And I just kind of stopped and I went, because we're a nonprofit. And so then all of a sudden I'm now in a leadership role. And then for a while I was the booking agent and the production department. And that comes first, our business model was really get shows first. So the nonprofit portion kind of fell away, and then I kind of took over from that. And yeah, I've been with the venue for about 3 years. I always make the joke. I started at the back door, just making sure no one snuck in, and now I'm in the back office doing everything else. So
Nice. Uh, so were you a music student, or did you ever play in bands yourself?
I can't play an instrument to save my life.
Okay.
I can. I have what I call have a theater degree. I went to college right after high school at Everett Community College, and Everett Community College does not have a full theater program. They have a theater transfer program. I did 7 different shows with them, and got half a theater degree, and then left from there. I am no longer an IATSE 15 unionized stagehand, and I did community theater as well. I was on the call list for Historic Everett Theater in downtown Everett. I did stage management there, but yeah, I can't play an instrument. So I was an actor,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to do stand up, a little bit of stand up for the open mics at Real Art Tacoma for a couple months, just because no one showed up to our open mics while we were getting them set up. So I would do my Tonight Show impression, to where I do like a monologue and then introduce the feature band that would come out,
Yeah.
just to kind of break up, everything. So no, I can't play an instrument. I can pretend to sing along, but I'm not musically inclined at all. So
Okay. Well, theater is a gateway to punk rock, I've noticed. Or it's the other way around. I'm not sure, but the two go hand in hand.
very true. I mean, I left when I left my theater degree. I actually went back to school after I got fired from delivering pizzas, and then I got an entrepreneurial degree. And so I have a
Take
real
that, pizza
2 year
place.
take that pizza place. So I have a 2-year degree in entrepreneurship,
Okay.
which is always fun to tell people that are in business. They go, "How is that helpful?" I go, "Because I can do all of your jobs plus one more, and you can only do one." And they go, "What?" And theater for me really led to event management. I've done different events. I was a coordinator with a team for a medieval LARP festival that no longer runs. I worked for the LeMay family out in Spanaway,
Mm-hmm.
as an event coordinator person. Theater just leads a lot to just event management, and yeah. So what it was just like the nonstop anxiety, the nonstop movement. Everything changes. I mean, it's something when booking bands. You might be like, "Oh, this bill's going to look great," and then all of a sudden your closer calls and says, "Oh yeah, we can't make it. Someone's sick," and you're like, "Okay." Instead of just going, "Okay, cancel the show. Show's over." Like, you just got to pivot, and you just got to be ready to, like, and we had that in theater. That was something in theater that we really did. Someone messed up a line. You didn't just go, "Okay, everybody stop. The show has to stop." No,
Yeah. No, you just got to
okay,
roll with
keep
it.
moving. We
Yeah.
just keep rolling. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely learning those headaches with booking bands.
It's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, usually it's fine, like there's always something that comes up, and staying equitable is also kind of important, because there's a lot of venues and stuff now to where it's like one person cancels, it's like, okay, it's a $200 fine. Like, these bands don't have any money,
Right.
and so it's just like, just being like, okay, this band pulled out a week in advance. And my favorite thing now is the band's always like, "Oh, look, we found a replacement." I just want to be like, "Look, guys, I understand, and that's very noble of you, but this isn't like a day job to where it's like this person can do exactly what we're doing." No, it's not. Those people have 800 less likes, follows, engagements than you do,
Right.
and their average pull is 5. Your average pull is 30. Like, I'd rather leave the hole than not put them on in a week's notice because there's no promo.
Right. Yeah. If it's a headliner for sure. So what is real art?
So Real Art Tacoma Real Art Tacoma, and I've cleared this with Tom, is Real Art started in about 2006, if not earlier. What it started was a group of friends wanted to host hardcore shows in the 90s, when 90s hardcore came out. And hardcore was still very frowned upon because it is punk rock's violent cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would actually host shows at VFW halls, much like we currently have in Tacoma and the East Side
Yeah.
on 38th. but they did them in University Place behind. There's a 7-Eleven in University Place, and there's a VFW hall there that they used to host shows at, and they nicknamed it and called it the Hall, which was just a VFW hall. Mm-hmm. But they were having to rent it for $400-$200 a night, and all the money that they made had to go back to the rental, had to go to renting the equipment, renting the space, renting whatever else they needed. So the bands got nothing. They just did it for the love of the music. And then from there, it transitioned to, why are we spending money on a venue rental when we could just buy our own venue and make that same money, have as many shows as we want, and have our own space? So the hall transitioned into the Junkyard. If you ever gone to Real Art, there is on the entranceway, if you go past the front desk, there's a big wooden plaque right to your right that says the Junkyard. That was the first entity where they started to find their own space and build their own space. That lasted 6 months. Fire marshal shut it down. And so then instead of, again, it goes back to that, don't give up. Yeah. Just because there's something wrong, we just keep moving. And so then they went to the Viaduct, which was under the Viaduct of Tacoma,
on South Tacoma Way.
On South Tacoma Way, about 2-3 miles south, kind of I think a little more past where Bob's Java Jive is, the teapot.
Yeah.
And they opened the Viaduct. A lot of Tom says it was where Tacoma Screw is, so if you know where that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's big right across the street from there, yeah.
That lasted 6 months, got shut down. Fire marshals. So, again, large space. So then they moved to what is now 5412 South Tacoma Way, which is what we know as Real Art Tacoma, was Viaduct, which was the host of Rainfest. You'll hear a lot of people when you come to the venue. That's one of the main questions is, oh, man, I miss Rainfest. I've heard that, at least once a week. So that was there. There's a video rolling around that Title Fight did play there. So, Title Fight has been on the grounds at our 5412 South Tacoma Way. And then the Viaduct lasted for, I think for 2 years or so. Run a venue is hard.
Yeah.
Run a venue is very hard. And at the time, in 2007, 2008, think about the socioeconomic things that were going on at that time.
Yeah.
And just trying to run a venue, and these were not business people. These were not people that, and again, you don't need to know what you're doing, but these were not people that were like, oh, we'll just go get a bank loan. Oh, we'll just go do this. It was, oh, everything's dried up, and okay. And that transitioned then to what was the Red Room in Hilltop, downtown for a couple years from 2007 for a while. The space at 5412 became Tacoma Dance Studio. Mm-hmm. So Tacoma Dance Studio was there from 2007 to 2014. It was there. So if you look up Tacoma Dance Studio, some of their old stuff will actually have our address. And I've gotten calls and emails being like, is this Tacoma Dance Studio? And I'm like, no, it's not.
Different kind of dancing.
But, it was still nice that it didn't turn into condos, right? Like the issue that we have now. So it was nice that it was still in entertainment. The Red Room was a very small room. I never went to it. And again, it started with, it's been this same group, right? So one person started the hall and was like, hey, I can't handle this anymore. Hey, let's do this. And then they just would hand it off to the next person and the next person. And it's been, so we became the nonprofit underneath Real Art Tacoma is called Viaduct. Our actual 501 name is Viaduct. And we're just using a different name. And so in 2015, they wanted to bring it back to its roots, 5412. So Red Room had gone. Again, it was like a group of I think it was more like a group of 10 of them, right? Just different people. I only know of 4 or 5 of them. But then again, they were like, oh, let's bring it back. So they rebuilt what is now Real Art Tacoma based on the name of the Real Art Theater, which is across the street, which is now Edison Square.
Yeah.
They actually have a little museum in the back that I want to put a little paper that's now we took the name and made it an all ages venue.
Yeah. Same sign design too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they changed the name. Tom, our current owner, was going to just run a boutique in the front, and just be a t-shirt company. And then the person that was running it was like, hey, can't do it anymore. And tossed the baton to Tom, and then Tom took it, and here we are. I mean, that was I don't remember. I tried to ask Tom, but he didn't get back to me because he's too busy. But I mean, it was before. It was like 2018 or so that he kind of took over because he was, I believe, the lead through COVID.
Yeah.
They had a different production director that I actually went to high school with. And then after COVID, I came on. So, yeah, Tom has been, I know, has been the CEO, the director, since 2020.
And here we are. And, I mean, shit, what kind of shows have been through Real Art? I mean, I remember very early on when I first started paying attention to Real Art, before I had been to a show there, but I started following them on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, this looks like a cool place. I want to go here. It was sometime in 2023, and I remember Pennywise was on tour with Rise Against, and somebody in Rise Against's crew got COVID, and so they had to cancel their Seattle date for the whole show. And so Pennywise they were probably like in Montana or something when that happened. They were like, hey, we still want to play Washington. And so they got a hold of somebody at Real Art.
No, they got a hold of Dano, who runs Airport Tavern.
Dano's been booking shows forever.
Yeah, Dano has a lot of connects.
Mm-hmm.
They reached out. They somehow got connected to him, and Dano was like, I can't host them because the old Airport Tavern is the size of a regular-sized kitchen. Their old space. Their new space is huge and beautiful.
It's huge,
It is wonderful, but their old space was very small.
Yeah.
And he's like, there is no way I can put enough people in this for it to feel like, because it would only fit like 30 people.
Right.
50 packed hard, And so they were like, he said, Tom, can you do this? And Tom was like, yeah, okay. And so tickets went on sale that morning. They sold out in 3 hours.
Yeah.
I was still like hanging out in the back. I think it was like a week or so before I like really got into it. And that was like 2022-ish, I believe. I don't think it was 23.
Okay.
It was like 2022. I might be wrong. But I texted Tom. I'm like, hey, do you need people out front just to manage IDs or something? And he was like, yeah. So I get myself, a roommate of mine, because we both worked in security for a while, and I called another friend. We just stood outside because it had to be 21 plus because that was what they wanted. We just checked IDs. I mean, I make the joke it was really easy to check IDs because one, if the person has any gray hair, we just like let them in.
Right.
And it was also
the one benefit.
It was like that, and what kind of shoes they're wearing. It's like, oh, you're wearing comfortable shoes. You're fine. Go in. I think we stopped maybe 3 people total because I looked at them. I'm like, or the ID was vertical, and so it's like, okay, we got to actually check it. But it was really funny just seeing all the people. I'm like, that's a dad. Like I'm just go. And so, but no, I was there. One of my favorite videos is from that show because we don't have a barricade.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know who it is now, but it's a very large fella is up on the stage and stage dives off the corner. And it was great. It's one of my favorites. So I mean, before that, Car Seat Headrest is played there. Mushroom Head. I don't know if they're,
Green Jelly just recently. I think it was a few months ago.
Green Jello just played. Yeah, Green Jelly just played. Pain of Truth, hardcore band.
Mm-hmm. Military Gun most recently.
Military Gun just the other night. Terror is coming.
Mm-hmm.
With just another gig through Brainstem, we've had a bunch of bands. Can't remember his name right now. Oh, Twitching Tongues. I met him in the alley. I met their singer in the alley.
Oh, did they actually play at Real Art?
Oh, yeah. That was the last Jag that was there.
Okay.
I met him in the alley because he was just outside smoking. And I was just like, oh, hey, man, you good? You find everything? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. He's like got the skeleton gloves on.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, wait, you're him. Because like he didn't have no makeup, no nothing. I was like, you're him. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, man. And so that was fun. The big show that we just had, which oversold Military Gun, which I was impressed by, was Your Arms Are My Cocoon.
Yeah, which is like an emo band, right?
They're a screamo band.
Okay.
And it was huge. It was insane.
Yeah.
The other screamo band, February.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm saying that right. That was a big show that just came through. Devin the Dude.
Okay. Yeah.
Did not sell well. and they get everybody to smoke weed inside, which I was not a fan of.
No, hip hop shows never do well there. It's just not that big of a scene for it here.
Yeah, Bumpin' Uglies played.
Okay.
Yeah, that was always fun. I mean, really, Real Art's always not been, it's hard to get a lot of big tours in because we believe in not having high prices because music's for everybody more so than, and sometimes it's just like, hey, we only have a 300 person cap. We're not going to make enough money to meet the minimum and at least meet our staffing needs to keep the prices available. Like, I mean, if you have only 4 bands, I don't, a lot of people and myself included, I'm not paying $45 to go see 4 bands. Like, I'm not, like,
yeah, no,
especially at a 300 cap room. Like, I'm not, like, or it needs to be a big enough band that's like, this is a once, like, Pennywise was a once in a lifetime opportunity to really feel like you were back in the 1980s, being in a venue that there's no barricade, you're right in the face, and it was insane. And I mean,
it was probably just as fun for them as it was for everybody there.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Because they don't get to do that very often.
No, they don't.
So here's a question that usually is at the top of the interview, but we've kind of rearranged just by way of conversation. So what does punk mean to you?
That's a great question. I mean, that's a question you ask everybody, right?
Yeah.
I started out my music listening lifetime of listening to Savage Garden when I was 9. Very big difference than punk rock. I then got into music in the 2008, 2007, which was the rise of My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, mostly soundtrack. The scene years, and then I blossomed into ska music from there, and have kind of now just adopted everybody because everything sounds good at some point. I've also done a lot of I listen to a lot of listen to a lot of history of punk rock. Punk rock's best historian, Black Flag frontman Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
He needs to just change his title to punk historian. I think that's mostly it.
That's already taken though by Jack from Me Grimlock. So
but that's true.
Ambassador. He could be the ambassador of punk.
There you go. Yeah. I think when the title card for Henry Rollins comes up, though, it should not just be like singer of Black Flag. It should be punk's key historian or something.
Yeah,
that guy is on more interviews and everything. What it means to me is, I don't know. I mean, like I've moved past just like the one thing. Like it means just being who you want to be. It means, there's so many different subgenres and things that have come off of punk rock that like you don't have to feel blocked in. You want to like one thing a certain way. You want to like something the other way. Sure, there's always going to be gatekeeping parts of everywhere, but it's not. It's you get. Oh, you like this? Oh, yeah, you're still part of punk rock. Oh, you like that? You're still part of. It's not. It's about being who you want to be and listening to, and just being part of something, doing it yourself, being part of. There's not a money aspect to it.
Right.
I mean, I made all my own patches when I was a kid. I didn't want to go buy them because I felt the anti-establishment portion of it. Sure, I could have gone to Hot Topic in the late 2000s and totally have bought them myself, but I just made them myself. I think that what is the ideology of punk is there is no level of money you need to be part of this. There's always going to be a place where you can go to a show for free. There's always going to be someone at the front desk that'll let you in. There's always going to be some part of you that there is no barrier to entry to be part of this.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
So we've talked about some cool things that have happened at Real Art. What's your personal favorite experience with Real Art?
So I have this value to bands. My favorite thing is always talking to bands in the green room, especially small local bands, right? Like I said, I grew up in the, my music journey started in the scene eras. And I have seen Motion City Soundtrack in concert and sang every single song when they came through a tour. And I love being in the back when a band comes off and they're all talking amongst each other. And again, this is a local band. This isn't like I've seen Vision Video. Oh man, Dusty Gannon. Oh man, I love him so much. That was amazing. But again, people knew the songs, but it's these local bands. They go, oh well, we really messed up. we really did this problem. And I'm like, you're right. All those fans knew every single one of your songs and every single piece of guitar work that you've ever done. And they're like, you're right.
Yeah.
No one cared. And I'm like, no one cared. And it's something that I tell, and it changes. My favorite all-time thing that I tell everyone, if you haven't seen them, it is amazing. And at Real Art, it was extra best, was seeing the Graceland 5, which is a Elvis punk rock tribute band.
Okay.
Elvis comes out fully in Elvis gear. Like, he has the full white shirt. Nuck of the Scoffs plays in it as well.
So you're talking like 1970s Elvis.
He comes out in a full white. He has a full white outfit and a full. Oh man! And I was chatting with them. I brought them out for my birthday show in June. I was like, I want to do a punk rock beach party because I love surf. I love punk rock because surf is awesome. And so I grabbed. What is their name? I can't remember their name, but they're no longer a band anymore. But they were out of Everett, and they were just a straight up surf band. They were all like under 30. They just loved surf. I grabbed I-90 Fiasco. They're a punk rock party band. Awesome. Yeti Set Go, Frankenstein TNT. And then I was like, no, my closer needs to be the Graceland 5 because my grandmother listened to Elvis and I love jazz and blues. And so I was like, I need to have this. So the guys from Coastal Cleanup, that's their name. They were out of Everett. They were shredders, man. And my favorite show, though, why it was my favorite, was that I love a good show. I don't care if it sounded good. I don't care if the music didn't sound right. If we had a dang good time, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And he comes out in the full gear. He's running through the audience. It was just nonstop. And it was 11 o'clock. The show had got off track. Bad. And it was 11:30. And Real Art shows we try to end at about 11:30. We try to get everybody out by 11:30 because Tom says, I need to go to bed. And so we listen to Tom.
Yeah.
So it's 11:15 Friday night. We had been there. I had actually got out a backdrop. I mean, I did a party. I did an event. And I mean, we were tired. And he comes flying out of the back. Elvis does. And there was 12 of us left. And you've been to shows at Real Art where it's like that last band, if it's not big, people are like, oh, yeah. People stayed, and it was the hour. He played for an hour, and it was amazing. And after the show, I'm talking to Oliver, our sound guy that doesn't really do sound with us anymore. And he was like, that was the greatest show. I was like, it was the greatest. And it was one of that show always sticks out to me as just one of the best, just because it was my show, and I love Elvis, but I love that show. The other show is this band called Plagued by Nightmares.
Okay.
I don't know if they're still running. I think so. We have brought them on for a festival that my volunteer coordinator did called Little Fest. And it was the first year, and they had kind of pulled all these bands together, and they kind of knew bands. We knew enough. This band was on, and then it was the second day, so we're really tired because it's end of the second day. And when we get there, they're handing out flyers, and they're handing out pamphlets, and we're like, what are they doing? I thought this was just a band. And then it starts. It was a full entire theatrical presentation. They did a full entire musical soap opera that we had no idea. I looked to Ian and I was like, did you know it was going to be this? And they were like, no. And it was amazing. It was just 30 minutes of just this whole scripted costume changes musical. Just random, just boom, just started. We were like, what? We didn't know what was happening. And again, it's just something that I tell people. It's like, look, you can stand there, you can sing this music, but if I wanted to just listen to you, I would just play the album.
Right.
I would just watch a video. We live in this modern age where it's I have access to your music in some way or another. When I go to a show, I want to walk away from that show and be like, whoa, did you see that they did that? Did you see that they did that? And that summer show always sticks out to me because those guys in Coastal Cleanup, that was the last time I think they were a full band. They had a full 5-person, 6-person band. Just surf shred. Just up and down the guitar. And I mean, they literally were sitting. One of them literally leaned against his amp to play. But it was so mind-meltingly shreddy, so mind-meltingly good that I was like, you could just sit there with your mouth open.
Yeah.
But
captivated.
And an I-90 Fiasco, they're amazing. They're just a party. They brought out beach balls. Everybody was having a good time. Everybody was dancing. Sure, the sound wasn't the best because we were having some technical issues. But I didn't care. Everybody was having fun. And that's to me, if your show is not your show needs to be memorable before it needs to sound right. I remember the first year we did JAG, there's the VHS is still at Real Art. You can ask Tom, he'll put it on, I think, now, because he almost burned it. We got it from there's a media guy out of Canada called I Spent a Long Time Dying.
Mm-hmm.
Put it all on VHS. And Tom got one from them and played it. I swear, every single day, like a little kid seeing Shrek for the first time. For months, he played this. And this is 9 hours worth of a tape. And he played, ask him to. You can go in and you can ask him. He'll play it for you. He doesn't play it as much because he's like, oh yeah, it started getting problems. So like, he keeps the box out, but he's like, we don't play it unless, like, ask him though. It's great. There was a band, I think it was Gag, I think. No, it was some other, I can't remember the band name, but it wasn't Gag. And the guy, like, took the mic and, like, put it in his mouth. This is a house mic. He, like, put it in his mouth and just did crazy stuff. He was, like, writhing on the floor. I don't remember the rest of that festival. I just remember this guy because, like, at the end of the show, Aaron bagged up the mic and just said, here, this is yours now. We're not using it. And gave it to the guy.
Yeah. And this is post-2020, so it's like... Yeah.
It was just... and so that's what I tell people. It's like, you can make... Any show can make a good moment. If we're having fun, people come for a show. They don't come to listen to the music.
Right. That's the one thing I always notice is, like, I won't always remember exactly what a band sounded like, or I won't remember exactly how the songs were or what the set list was, but I remember the experience. Like, was it fun? Was there, that's what people walk away from concerts most of the time, unless you're like a super prick, like critic or whatever, like I could be sometimes, but that's what you remember the experience more than exact moments when a band might have, a guitar player played the wrong chord or there were some technical problems, like the mic stopped working. Like, that isn't always what people remember.
No, they remember the time, they remember the experience of it. I mean, I remember this was again that last JAG 2 years ago. There's holes in the back of the venue right by the entrance into the Beyond Thunderdome Cafe. There's holes in the wall. Mm-hmm. Has Tom ever told you this story? Oh, I love this story. So
I think you did, but go ahead.
I think I told you it. The Casey of Apex Predator, Federal Way Hardcore, Federal Way only. Don't call him Pierce County. Casey, no, I'm joking. Casey, they just do a lot of shit talking on their Instagram. That's just kind of their MO.
I mean, just do. I don't know. I kind of take offense to that, but go ahead.
No, but they're shit talkers. That's their big thing. Is they just and Casey walks out, and Casey's a bigger guy too. He walks out, has these full water bottles, and before he's even started, right? Casey's like 6'3", like a football player big.
Yeah,
comes out, has these full water bottles. And again, it was like 95 degrees in the venue because it was so hot because we had so many people. He's in a full all-weather parka-looking thing. Takes these full water bottles and at full force launches them from the stage at full force into the back wall. And instead of, a normal reaction, which is, oh my gosh, Tom picks them up and goes, well, fuck you too, Kate, and just throws them back at Casey on stage. And so it just became like, it was just such a classic Real Art Tacoma hardcore moment to where it's just like, Casey just threw full water bottles into the back wall, and instead of, being upset, Tom just picks them up and throws them back. And so Tom, the owner of the venue, just picks them up and throws them back. So.
Right. Yeah. God, there was a hardcore show that I worked backstage for. It was The Art of Hardcore. It was just this last summer. Apex Predator was there. So Casey, that's one of his bands too. He's just walking around the green room, like while everybody's doing sound and setting up before the show started. He's just walking around. He's got like an RC car and he's just driving around. Yeah. It's just like, I had never met any of these people before, and I'm just wow, what? But
he posts them on his TikTok. He'll post like an Apex Predator is becoming like a regional. They tour now.
Yeah.
They're like semi-national. Casey just posts pictures of his RC car travels and then Apex Predator. I don't know if they still have that brand of just like shit talking, but that was their big thing.
They definitely were shit talking.
No, Casey's great. I love Casey. I ran into him. I got a skateboard from them. It was like one of the like weird merch items, and again, I don't even have it anymore. Just memorable. It was a tech deck. It was like this tech deck, and I was like, this is awesome. And so it was one of my favorite merch items.
I love weird merch.
Weird March is the best.
So what are your thoughts on pop-up DIY shows, like at parks or skate parks or whatever?
There's been a lot of that recently, especially here in Washington, Seattle. With Gasworks Park was a big one. I went to one of the shows before the incident.
I was at the one with the incident. It was
Right.
my only time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before, I mean, like, I don't know what it's like now, and I wasn't, like you said, you were at the incident. I was not. There's goods and bads to it, I think, and that's kind of, again, there's this barrier. And again, it's not like a barrier to entry. It's free. Everything's there. I come from a suburban home. My mom would never be like, "You're going to go see punk rock in the park?" No. Like at 8 o'clock? Like, no. And so I think that the idea of having a free show, the idea of just gathering and having that is, in essence, what punk rock and punk should be about.
Yeah.
We're here to have a good time. We're here to, to let off some steam, right? To have a mosh pit of just like bumping into each other, to push, to pull, to whatever.
Right. And there's no stage, which is cool too.
But I think that there is, and again, I don't have any problems with it. I am not ever going to say that I don't like DIY, that I don't like pop-ups in the park, that I don't like house shows. It's not that. It's that having a place that is a central location that has some formality of it does create, at least for people that may not be able to go to these kind of places, have this legitimacy that something might not happen, right? There's legitimacy to be like, hey, you're not supposed to be there. Like, no, like there's some form of, again, there's a difference between being like an asshole cop and being like, you're breaking the law, versus like being a concerned dad or being a concerned parent that's like, hey, that's dangerous. You keep doing this, you may hurt yourself. I am not going to allow that to happen. And, and I think that, it's something that I currently live up in U District in Seattle. Mm-hmm. It's one thing that I really would love, because now people are coming out to Cowan Park, which is just literally around the corner from my house.
Yep.
And there was an incident there.
Oh.
There was an incident at Cowan Park. There, I thought I talked to you about that. Like, there was a shooting at Cowan Park during the show.
I don't think I heard about that.
And it's just like, there's a community center here in the U District that I would love to work with and be like, hey, how much do we need? What's the minimum I need to reach for us to host these shows? Just give this a place for the kids, and we can then send it to UW, because I'm sure UW doesn't want their students going to these public pop-ups.
Right.
Like they're probably like, we're not gonna, no, we don't want those kind of things to pop up. I mean, house shows are house shows. It's someone's house.
Yeah.
It's a house party. But it's just create a system of pop-up. I mean, that's what we did. I mean, that's what the basis of Real Art Tacoma was. Rent a VFW hall. Host a show in your backyard. I was telling somebody the other day, the funniest thing about hardcore is not any of it. It's that they'll play in a VFW with all the lights on.
Yeah.
If you watch 856 from Sunny, some of the coolest shows are in just a big old open room with all the lights on. There is no stage lighting. There is no nothing. And my favorite time about hardcore was being in the back talking to Gel, Bobby Monday of Gel. Mm-hmm. We were sitting out back, smoking, just hanging out, because it gets too hot for me, so I always step outside. And we all know the cool people are the ones outside. Don't believe that, children. don't smoke. But
smokers
I was talking to him, and then I was talking to Chris LaPointe of Wake of Humanity, and Chris was, I think, what really cemented it. It was like, we were making jokes, because the first day was all old school hardcore, so the sets were 25 minutes. These were touring musicians that were like, we know how to get up and down off stage within 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. We don't need a load-in time. We go up, we go down. That's it. We're done. And we play for 20 minutes, and we're done. The next night, or something like that, the bands would play for a while. They'd take 10, 15 minutes to set up, 10, 15 minutes to come down. It was really slow. But Bobby was like, oh, man, any hardcore band that goes over 25 minutes is insane. And Chris LaPointe really, really brought this home. We were joking. His band was playing. And normally at Real Art, we give 30 minutes. We say you have 30-minute set. He told his band that they had 25 minutes, and his band threw their arms up like it was like they were playing 2 hours. Like they were told to play a wedding set. They were like, 25 minutes? Are you kidding me? Gosh. And I think it was Bobby, but it might have been, I can't remember, but it was like, come on, Fish. Someone's got work in the morning, like when you're playing for 25 minutes. And it's like,
right.
Any other band would be like 20 minutes. That's really not a lot. It's just hardcore. It's just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I tell people, hardcore started because they played shows as fast as they could, and they played the sets as fast as they could. Partly from the Ramones, playing 15-minute sets, but also from that cop can come through that door at any minute. The fire marshal's going to shut us down. Play as fast as you can and end this show within 2 hours, because we want to listen to this, we want to have fun, but we don't want them coming through the door. So play as fast as possible, and that's what it is.
Yeah. So, would you have any advice for kids that want to start booking shows, be it at a pop-up or at an actual venue or a VFW hall or wherever?
I don't know the VFW hall portion. I've never rented a hall. But when you reach out to booking people, the best course of action is you have to find the easy medium. You don't just send a one-line sentence that says, I want to play a show. But you don't send a 5-paragraph, you don't send like a 10-paragraph essay on the history of your band. And I've gotten either of those. I've gotten ones from people that are just like, I want to play a show. And I'm like, okay, I need more. And I've gotten ones to where it's like, here's our life story. I'm like, I don't care. Too much. It's just tell them what you are. Tell them how many people you can bring. You just really, and I tell people this, I say, take 12 months of shows, put it in an Excel document, how many people showed up. Divide it by how many bands played. That's your average. Mm-hmm. Even if there was a big band, even if it's like, oh, we opened for a big, huge band, great. Look, your average is now skewed.
Right.
But,
there's some truth to that, too, though, because then your name is associated with that band. So that could...
Exactly. Take your average and be like, here's our average pull. Right? Because my favorite is always, I'll ask a band, I'll go, how many people can you bring to Pierce County, to Tacoma? My favorite is when people are like, 50, 60? I'm like, there's one band I know that can pull 50 and 60 people, and it's not your band.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, people, being realistic, yes, there's going to be places that are going to turn you down. There's going to be places that value what you do, like how many people you can bring in. But just give an overview, write a good pitch for your band, be truthful about your genre, be truthful about how many people you can bring. And just set those facts down. Like when I'm looking through emails, when I'm booking stuff, I mean, yes, I want your story a little bit. But send me a link to your music. Oh, okay, great. I can at least listen to it. Tell me what genre you are, because I'll either put you with the same genre, because I don't believe in hard mixed genres unless you're doing a split show. And be thorough about your genre. Don't ask yourself what genre you are. Ask someone else what genre they think you are.
Yep.
Because yes, sometimes it's okay to tell me you're 5 genres in one. You're post-core with a goth-inspired emo shoegaze.
Yeah, that might be your intention, but what do people actually hear when they hear you?
Right.
Yeah.
You're not heavy metal, you're probably hard rock. But I can put you with other hard rock bands, and but if I put you with other heavy metal bands, you look really not the,
Yeah.
And just be thorough, but not over, and don't overlink yourself, especially on emails, because you will get sent to the junk bin.
So what are some of your favorite bands? We could talk about big bands or current bands in the scene, but what are some names, what do you enjoy listening to right now?
Right now, I mean, like I said earlier, I don't listen to everything. I'm sorry, country, you still can't talk me into it. And I'm sorry, mumble rap, I just can't do it. But I listen to hip hop, I listen to EDM, I listen to techno, I listen to everything that can be associated with punk rock. I listen to ska, I listen to scene core, whatever you might consider Most Day Soundtrack is, but that's what it is. Their new album just came out, so I'm still listening to that. I really have been listening to a lot of old school hardcore.
Okay.
Very Minor Threat inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Some may say oi, some usually say don't say that. The new Wisdom in Chains Evergreen Terrace split I've been listening to a lot. Evergreen Terrace is a metalcore band, and Wisdom in Chains is again an old school call response one. Listen to the new album from Restraining Order, also old school oi inspired hardcore. They're going to be at Vera, I think, next month, but I didn't like the rest of the bands they're with, so I was like, I'm not going to. And then I've been listening to pop punk out of Chicago called the Fluorescence. They
Okay.
just played Seattle a year ago. Very, it's very pop punk. Not as angry as A Day to Remember, but not as like popped out as like it's not Blink-182 inspired. It's very much A Day to Remember, 4 Year Strong inspired stuff. They're really great. Yeah, that's mostly been it. It changes, it changes on the mood, it changes on the opinion. I mean, like I said, I've been listening to the new album from Russia Soundtrack. I've been listening to those like B-C list artists, Wisdom in Chains, Restraining Order, amazing. The video from that same drag when they played, I was like, this is really good.
So besides music, what else are you passionate about?
The back end part of it. So I mean, I've done a lot of different hobbies and stuff. I was in theater for a while. Theater is very difficult sometimes because it's a lot of old guard still in it. And there's a lot of still age restrictions for youth, and then there's a lot of just restrictions of just getting into it. Either you're free labor that's going to work too much, or you need to be auditioned and you need to have the talent to do it. So I kind of was like, all right, I'm out. And it was and being a union stagehand, it was, this is your life. We could call you. You could work from 8 to midnight. You could work from 1 to midnight. My favorite part was getting stuck at the Fifth Avenue Theater at 12:30 on a Monday. They told us we were working till 8 a.m., so I rode the bus in. It was like 11. We started at 11. They were like, oh, yeah, you're going to be here till 8. It's all cool. So people rode the buses in late. They rode the last buses in. 2 in the morning, they go, all right, go home. And we're like, what do you mean go home? It's 2 in the morning. They were like, yeah, we're done. Go home. And we were like, we all rode the bus here. There's no buses. And this was like before Uber really was like big, where people were like, oh, just take an Uber like it is now, like where it's like, just bite the bullet, take an Uber. And I remember there was one guy that drove, and he put 6 of us in his car. And I lived in Lake City at the time. And so he dropped one guy off at Queen Anne, and then I had to swap at Northgate to another car with another guy that was going even more north. He dropped me off, and then he dropped another guy off in Kenmore, which is just out of Lake City. And it was just, yeah, so.
Damn.
Yeah. I used to be a competitive pinballer.
Oh.
I got into competitive pinball many years ago.
Were you a pinball wizard?
Not that high up.
Okay.
Maybe a cleric, maybe just had a couple rogue spells to throw in there, but nothing crazy.
Right.
I got into it. My dad had passed the year before, and I was just, how it is when losing a parent. You're just like, what do I do with my life? And so I ended up at another castle in Edmonds, and I don't know what his actual title is, but I don't know if he still works for them, but he was working there, and he was like, hey, why don't you play in this pinball league? And I'm like, oh, pinball league? And he's like, we do a bar league. Every Monday, all the bars that have pinballs have their own team, and you just play with a team. It's a team sport. I'm like, I'm terrible at team sports. And he's like, you're not terrible at pinball? And I'm like, I kind of am. He's like, you're fine. We're the lowest team. And so I got into that, played competitive pinball for a while. Not even well. Like, I always lost every time, but that was crazy to get into. It still runs.
I have never heard of competitive pinball, but I'm not surprised that it exists.
Yeah, so it still runs on Mondays, but I got out because I had moved, and I was like, I can't drive to Seattle, like I was in a financial hard spot. But now it still runs, and it's so competitive. It was like minorly competitive when I played. There was a team that they had notes. So I don't know if you know this about pinball, but a pinball machine is not the same from bar to bar. So I mean, if you go play a machine at the airport, it'll be different than it is at Orbitz down the street, the new spot.
Right.
Even if it's the same exact make and model, it can be different. And so these guys had sheets and this was like 2015, 16, I think. These guys had notes on every machine. They would go and scout and get notes on the machine. Be like, this is how it plays. You need to play. And I was like, me and the team.
It leans a little bit to the left. This flapper is slow. Yeah.
And the guy that I met that got me into it, he was like, no. This is just for the bars because no one comes in on Mondays. So it was just a way for us to make extra, for to be like, hey, come in and play on Mondays.
Yeah.
It just got way too much, and so now it's really competitive. They have 600 players, and it's set 40 teams. Yeah, Monday Night Pinball. Look it up if you're watching a person. I've watched number 1 and number 2 in the world in pinball play on a machine, one-handed against each other. That guy from Canada, the number 1. he plays a better game with one hand than I play with two hands and $10. I mean, I've watched that guy play. His story, my favorite was reading one of his articles, and he was like, yeah, and clearly being the best at pinball puts you at some, clearly, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's not like fully understanding of social cues, that kind of thing. In the article, though, it reads, he's like, yeah, we went into Chicago to play the World Championships of pinball, and there's a pinball machine in the airport, and I stopped, and I put Grand Champion, Champion, Second, Third, Fourth, and Fifth as my initials. And I was like, and I tell people, it's like the pirate calling card of, we hung pirates on the entrance to the harbor so you can see what we're going to do to you. And I was like, dude just puts his calling card up, racks first, second, and third, and just like every other person that's coming from around the world now has to look at that machine and go, oh, look, pinball. Oh, look, those are his initials. Oh, no, he's going to wipe the floor with us. And, like, I don't think he meant that. I think he was just like, ooh, pinball. Like, ooh, I'm going to play. And, yeah, it was just always, yeah. So I wasn't into competitive pinball. I was into LARP, battle LARP. I ran my own battle LARP out of high school. I've always been very, like, business group focused, to where it was like, hey, you have a group thing? Sure, let's run it. My second time through college, at Tacoma Community College, I was the club coordinator, so my job was just, hey, I want to start a club, which is just a business. What do I do? And I'm like, okay, here. And we'd set out a whole business plan. And so, but in high school, I started a battle LARP, where we just, had foam and sticks and such, like, had noodles on PVC, and that group, I believe, is still running. I had to get away from it because it got kind of bought out, but it ran from 2009 to, I think it still runs today, so for 15 years. I was part of a Tacoma group that kind of fizzled out because I was kind of getting burnt out from doing it. So I was in LARP for a while.
So let's talk. Big announcement. Ratfest. Tell me about it. Give me the pitch.
Ratfest is a anagram for Real Art Tacoma Festival. Like we've just been talking about, Real Art celebrating its 10th year as the Tacoma and Pierce County all-ages nonprofit venue. We try to do this every year. We try to do a big event every year, but sometimes it's just, we're all volunteers. So this year is even better. We've expanded it into 2 days with a celebration to all ages music, or to those that also celebrate all ages music. We've had a wonderful booker that has worked really hard on finding these bands and getting some of the bigger names, at least Tacoma, some in Seattle, that are mostly all ages, or some of the band is all ages or has been such a proponent. Sons of Ferdinand is on that. They are a family as well.
2 brothers, and then one of their sons plays drums.
Right, and the son is, I believe, was under 21. I don't know if...
Yeah, he still is, because I actually saw him at a high school band competition. I was with my kid, and I saw him, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know who that is. So yeah, that was just like a couple years ago. Yeah, Milk Crate.
Milk Crate, 3 of them are over 21. I don't remember which one. I know who it is, but the bass player is, I think, the cousin of the singer and...
Brother of Kayla, and then Matt is their uncle.
Cousin. Uncle?
Yeah, he's a lot older.
And so, again, he's 30, 35. He's under 30. I think me and him are the same age, 33-ish.
You said you weren't going to say your age.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, you're still way younger than me, all right?
But again, they have an all-ages aspect. The Milk Crate started there. I'm trying to think, we just have people that are connected, or they're people that are benefactors of the all-ages music, and there's people that care about it. And so we're really excited. It's going to be 2 nights, big artists coming through. We're going to be doing all sorts of different fundraising stuff. So we have our mystery merch box raffle, which always is fun. If you're in a band and want to donate merch to us, what it is we have boxes that we're going to fill as full as we can. They're about 12 by 12. They're big size boxes with just merch from local bands, preferably just bands that have played at Real Art, and shirts, CDs, stickers,
koozies.
Weirder is better. So
if you have weird merch, please,
because we're going to have a bunch of shirts, we're going to have a bunch of CDs, we're going to have a bunch of stickers, and then we fill these boxes like just with stuff. So my first year I did it, Anna of Hot Stepmom won, and I only did 1 box that year. And man, it was like if you've never seen the N64 video of the kid that goes N64, it was like that.
Yeah.
The box was huge. It was like 16. It was huge. It was like big movie box. She's opening it and just pulling shirts out, like and just flinging stuff. And like she's like, oh, this band, and they were all local bands. This was not like some big band. This was like, I can't remember who was in that, but it was like, they're like, oh, this is a Milk Crate shirt. And like all of their bandmate, all of the Hot Stepmom bandmates were around. And they were like, I want that one. I mean, it was just like, they were just like, and so we've expanded it now that we give away more boxes. Mm-hmm. So if you've got some merch, if you've got a shirt, one shirt, doesn't need to be like 5 of the same thing. It could be, here's a stack of stickers and a shirt. We're going to mix everything up. So we don't know what's going to be in each box. It's a lot of fun. And so we're going to be doing that. That's a mystery merch raffle. So we're going to be hopefully doing 3 of those a day. Those are $1 to enter. And then the other big thing we did 2 years ago is we're doing the golden ticket. The golden ticket is you can go to every single show at Real Art Tacoma in 2026 from January 1st to December 31st. Age restrictions may apply because we do have, like, Bandit Theater does some 18 plus, and just some of those, But one person will get entry to every single show if they so want to in 2026.
Yep. Even ones that are sold out.
Even ones that are sold out.
Yep.
The sellout does not matter to you. Pre-show before the event is 12. At the event is 15. You do not need to be present to win. That is a big important part. Is like you can go online once the tickets drop. You can go online and you can start buying them now. You can buy as many as you want. We'll put your name on it. It doesn't. You do not have to be present to win. So we're trying to sell as many as we can on that.
And this whole event is a fundraiser. So I mean, obviously we have the merch boxes, raffles. We have the golden ticket raffle. Ticket entry is, I mean, it's all going to Real Art, the nonprofit, to continue to stay open and host rad events and have the free classes, have the movie nights, have all the other tangential things that Real Art does.
We have gotten a new grant for the Tacoma Creates, the $5 program. Mm-hmm. That helps us bring people in, but fundraising helps us keep the doors open. Yeah,
because it's expensive to run a venue. Yeah.
The event is but the event is also to raise enough money so that we can then build these other programs in, build the classes. We've had the audio engineering, we've had the stagehand. I would love for us to move into a direction and really start hosting music business, how to write an email well, how to get your average market, and in that would be how to get your average pull, how to do these things. There's enough programs teaching you how to be a rock star. There's no one teaching you how to be the accountant and the manager, and no one really has a manager anymore. So,
yeah,
I hope we can expand those classes. Our team is looking really good, but yeah, with that fundraising, we can then not have to focus on that. I mean, it's just that age-old thing of I don't have to worry about where my rent's coming from, how much my food is. I can work on creative projects.
Yeah. Right. So let's talk about tickets.
Tickets are $40 pre-sale before taxes and fees, but
that's for the weekend pass, right?
For the weekend pass. Day tickets will go on sale in November. Weekend passes are $40, but if you know a band and if you're a follower of some of the great local bands, you need to be on the lookout because they should have an artist code where you can get $10 off and get in for $30. And it's 18 bands? I'm thinking it's 17 or 18.
There is 17 or 18 bands, yes. 18
bands. So normally it's $15 for five bands. So you're getting, if you get a weekend pass, you're getting to see 17 bands for 2 nights for two $15 tickets. So it's a good deal. And you get to see, and you get to be part of helping Real Art Tacoma stay open, for us to be able to make better programs and such like that.
Tickets are on sale
October 20th.
That's today when this episode airs.
That's right. Yeah.
So tickets are on sale now.
Tickets are on sale now. Come get tickets now. Get your golden ticket entries in.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you're like, I can't make it that 2 days, I got stuff to do, but I want that golden ticket because there's some cool stuff coming, get it now. You can keep buying it. Buy as many as you want. They go to you guys. There's also a raise-a-thon going on. So, I mean, if you want to help, just donate some money, look to our Instagram and look around on our website. You can find some some places to give. If you are part of a local business or a local organization and you want to start your own Raisathon entry, the winner of the Raisathon will get to keep the Raisathon trophy, which is going to be pretty cool. You get to win the Raisathon trophy and get to keep it at your business or organization for a year and then bring it back. And so you can enter to win as that as well. So lots of fun stuff. Support all ages music. You might not like the bands now, but when you're old, the next band's coming up, and they might be at Real Art Tacoma today.
Right. Yeah. And as far as bands, we're not going to do like a full announcement here of the lineup, but that lineup will be rolling out over the next 2 weeks.
If you look at the poster now, it does have everybody listed.
Okay.
We do have a lot, but yeah, we don't want to go through it all. But we will have a bunch more just talking about what each band does and everything like that.
Yeah. So if it's a well-known Tacoma band, pretty good chance they're on the lineup.
Probably. Oh yeah.
Probably. That booking guy that you were talking about has really been working his ass off.
Yeah, really works really hard. Really
Yeah.
he really has put in a lot of work. He really has helped take a big lift off of my shoulders, because that's like one of the biggest parts is just bringing those bands in. He's taken a big lift off of my shoulders so that we can focus on sponsorship and some other stuff with the event, so that we can make this event hopefully the best gala fundraiser. It is attempting to be in association with Giving Tuesday. So if you normally have already given for Giving Tuesday, I'm sorry, but no, you haven't yet. So yeah.
Right.
So if you do Giving Tuesday, it is in association with that. So hold out a little bit if you want to come to the event. If not, we will have a Giving Tuesday platform as well, so you should donate through there as well.
And also, we didn't say this, but it's December 12th and December 13th.
Yes, December 12th and 13th.
Yeah, so it's a Friday and Saturday. Starts around 5 o'clock.
Doors open at 5 both days.
Saturday's a little earlier.
50-50 raffle as well going on. So if you're a hockey fan or a sports fan, we have one of those going on.
Yeah, big fan of the 50-50 raffle.
There's going to be some stuff maybe from some people just talking about what real art means to them.
So yeah, it's going to be a rad time. It's going to be a rat time.
For sure. For sure. One of my favorite things on the poster right now that you'll see, we have this amazing graphic designer that was our intern for over the summer. They have made these amazing rat characters that just have got me so excited for the whole event. So I'm so excited. Very reminiscent of the mural on the back wall of Real Art Tacoma, but a modern twist on them. They're great. I love those characters.
Yeah. Hell yeah, this is going to be a great event. I'm really excited, both as a fan of the local scene, and I like to go to shows. I'm excited, but also as like being a part of this. This is the biggest thing that I've been involved with so far in the scene, and I'm really excited. I'm very grateful for you for giving me the opportunity to help out with this, and it really means a lot. And I'm excited, and I hope everybody else is as excited as we are, or they will be once they get there, because it's going to be a hell of a show.
It's as many Tacoma powerhouses as we could fit in the building.
Yeah. And if your favorite Tacoma band isn't there, it's not because they didn't want to be there. We ran out of room or they had conflicting schedules. Because this is really this is a community thing. This is bands that came up for the most part playing real art, and bands that still do, and bands that hold this kind of thing close to their hearts. So,
and if you're interested, you know what, we're going to try it again next year. So if you are so inclined that you want to be part of this next year, reach out.
Absolutely.
Let us know. We'll start the list now. Maybe it'll be 3 days. Maybe it'll be 2 weekends. You never know. The goal is it's a fundraiser. It raises funds for real art. It makes it so we can continue doing the work that we're doing, providing space, providing everything that we need so that the youth of Tacoma have a place to go. Just like I talked about, you have a place that you can find your friends. You have a place that's not school, work, home, that's not on the computer.
It's your third space.
It's your third space.
Yep.
Especially for youth.
Yep. Which is so important, because I never had I didn't have a healthy third space growing up. There wasn't, much in the way of a music scene for kids, So I'm very, very grateful that it exists now, and, we all do our best to keep it healthy.
We want to keep that barrier low. Everywhere else where you want to hang out, you got to spend money. Spend
Right.
$5, come in. We're trying to expand that program out, but just having that where it's like $5 gets you 4 hours of fun time. 4 hours of being around your friends, hanging out, listening to music, getting to do, be who you want to be, and not have any pressures of anybody else to really put
Right.
on you. Being in a space where there's some form of guilt that you need to come back for something else, or anything like that. So,
Yep. Perfect. All right, Dan. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for everything that you do for the scene, because it's a lot. It's massive. So thank you, and we will see you at Rat Fest, if not sooner.
December 12th to 13th.
Thank you so much, Dan, for joining me on the show. Thank you for the interview. Thanks for everybody for sticking around and listening. This was kind of a weird 2-part episode that I don't normally do, but I feel for the sake of not interrupting my schedule while also timing this announcement exactly right, I had to do what I had to do. So again, that announcement is Ratfest 2025. 2-day fundraising event for Real Art Tacoma, going down on December 12th and 13th with bands such as Kapala, Hot Stepmom, Meldrop, Milk Crate, Pawnee's Revenge, Star Matriarch, Zaylee Hayes, and more. It's going to be massive. Dan and I, and as well as Andrea and a few others, have been working so hard on this to really put together this massive celebration of all ages music in the Northwest, but specifically Tacoma, for Real Art as a fundraiser to help keep the nonprofit and the venue funded through next year. And again, there will be merch box raffles. There will be a 50-50 raffle. There will be a golden ticket that some lucky person can win that will get you into every single show for the entire year of 2026, even if it's sold out, which I think is rad. And I kind of hope that I win it, even though I'm sure I'm probably disqualified. But anyways, it's going to be a rad time. So spread the word. Pre-order your weekend passes, because you're not going to want to miss this. I hope to see everybody there. We've still got a lot of work to do and a lot more things to figure out for this, more announcements to be made. But anyways, Grit City Punk, myself, Jeremy, I'm so honored to be a part of this, and I'm just really excited to see how it goes and where we go from there. So thanks for everybody for listening to the show. As always, you know where to find me. You know my socials. You are listening to me somewhere. So continue listening there. If you're listening on Spotify, maybe find somewhere else to listen. I had mentioned before that I currently am hosted through Spotify, mainly out of necessity, just because it's really like one of the only free hosting platforms for podcasts that actually offers unlimited bandwidth and unlimited file size and the amount of episodes to be posted all at once. Some, like Podbean, you're only allowed like 5 hours. So basically I would have 2 episodes, and then after that it would start deleting them, which is bizarre. But I think I found another alternative away from Spotify. I'll keep you posted on that. It shouldn't hopefully interrupt anybody's subscription to the show. If it does, apologies. I'll keep everybody posted on it though. I will be back next week. This is weird. 3 back-to-back episodes every week. I'll be back next week with an episode with Dom from Sunbather Die, and I will have a rundown of the benefit show at Slice of Life. We'll have a ton more new music. We will have more concert announcements heading into Halloween. And thanks everybody again for listening and subscribing and following me. Make sure that you check out my YouTube page. Make sure you check out all the bands that I mentioned in the part 1 of this episode, and go to shows, buy merch, support the bands, support the venues, keep all ages music alive in the Northwest. And with that, I'm going to do things a little differently here. I'm going to end off with an old song, not from a current local band, but from an old local band. I'm sure everybody knows who Soundgarden is. Well, this is a really old Soundgarden song. It's called Sub Pop Rock City. For Grit City Punk, I'm Jeremy, and I'll see you later.
This has been a Jiggle Down Productions production.
I wish I knew how to dance. Just feel it, Kim.
Jonathan.
Hey, John.
I just want to know what the heck's going on.
Well, I had this problem.
What the heck's going on?
Yeah, okay, well, do you think you'd have too much of trouble if we got rid of our sideburns?
At your earliest convenience.
Well, I know you've said that before, but do you think Bruce and mine?
This is Bruce Pavitt.
Well, Bruce, okay, can we have our drummer back, Bruce?
Bye. I just want to know what the heck's going on.
Heavy bummer, lady.
Bye.
Do you want it nice and clean? Like, what do you want? You have
Do whatever you want, man. You're an actor. Come on, act.
act, damn it.
Damn it, act.
This is why my mom told me not to do this. So what is it? It's
just whatever.
Blank. This is
Grit
City
City
Punk.
This is Grit City Punk. That's the important part, that you say that this is the Grit City Punk show.
My name is Daniel. I'm the nonprofit director of Real Art Tacoma and Pierce County's only all-ages nonprofit venue. And this is Grit City Punk.
Cool. Now do a fun one.
What?
Do a fun
What
one.
does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't know. What does it mean?
My name is Daniel. I'm a competitive pinballer, and this is Grit City Punk. Like, what?
Yes, that's the one. Competitive, and then people are going to be like, "What? He's a competitive? What?" And then and then it'll be revealed as they listen to the show. They're like, "Oh shit, that's what that." Okay, gotcha.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got it.
Okay.
My name is Daniel. I'm a retired competitive pinballer, and this is Grit City Punk.